Good morning, teacher. Good morning, partners. Today we are going to expose building an app with NoSQL database. My partners are Rene Poma, Moises Corrales, and my person, Farley Viveros. Well, building an app with NoSQL database, CouchDB. Resume. This article explores how to build an application without the use of traditional databases such as SQL Server, Redis, or MongoDB. Instead, a viable alternative is presented using local storage in the browser via local store, which allows data persistence without the need for a server. Well, introduction. Apache CouchDB is a non-relational database management system that was released in 2005 and became a project of the Apache Software Foundation in 2008. Its design is based on web technologies such as HTTP, JSON, and JavaScript, which makes it easy to integrate into web applications. Unlike relational databases that use a rigid scheme, CouchDB allows developers to work with unstructured and semi-structured data, offering great flexibility in the way data is stored and accessed. Development. CouchDB key features. 1. Document-oriented model. CouchDB stores data as JSON documents. Each document can contain different files and data types, allowing for a flexible structure without the need for a predefined schema. 2. Replication and synchronization. One of the most outstanding features of CouchDB is its ability to replicate data between multiple instances. This allows applications to operate offline and automatically synchronize changes when the internet connection is restored. ACED support. Although it is a non-relational database, CouchDB implements ACID, atomicity, consistency, isolations, and durability properties throughout multi-version concurrency control MVCC. Web interface. CouchDB includes a browser accessibility administrative interface called Footen, which allows you to easily manage databases and documents. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. CouchDB is flexibility, high, high availability, offline application support, agile development. And disadvantage are learning curve, limitations in complex queries, variable performance, and eventual consistency. CouchDB applications, mobile applications, CRMs, progressive web applications, distributive systems, projects with changing requirements. Comparison of CouchDB with other non-relational databases. CouchDB and MongoDB. Inconsistency, CouchDB eventual consistency. For other hand, MongoDB configurable consistency. In complex consultations, CouchDB map reduce. For other hand, MongoDB ad hoc consultations. And primary use, CouchDB offline applications. For other hand, MongoDB fast web applications. CouchDB installation and configurations. Uh, it's easy in only 6 steps. 1. Installations. Download the installer in internet and run the installer. 2. Launch CouchDB. 3. Verify CouchDB installation. Open browser and enter the URL http 127.0.0.15984. For step, we enter the web interface to manage our database. 5. Let's create a new database. In Futon or interface web, click on create database and enter the desired name for your database and click create. 5 steps. Enter data or files. In create document, enter the desired files in JSON format and GitHub link is here. Conclusion. CouchDB establishes itself as an innovative and powerful solution in the field of non-relational databases, offering features that make it particularly suited to the demands of modern applications. Its document-oriented approach allows developers to handle data flexibility and dynamically, adapting quickly to changing project requirements. This flexibility is crucial in a technology environment where agility and responsiveness are essential for success.
Okay, we're going to continue with building an app with NoSQL database Cassandra. For our brief resume, we have the Apache Cassandra is a powerful NoSQL database known for its high availability, scalability, and ability to manage large volumes of data. Originally developed by Facebook, Cassandra is widely used today in applications. Okay, now we have why choose Cassandra. Cassandra is optimized for distributed data storage, making it ideal for applications that need high write throughput, fault tolerance, and high availability, and linear scalability. Now we're going to see some key components from the Cassandra architecture. We have nodes, cluster and rings, partition keys and replication, and finally the data model. And now we're going to pass with the install Cassandra. We're going to go to the page Apache Cassandra website and download latest versions. We're going to follow the guide that is on the page. And to start Cassandra, we're going to execute Cassandra F. And for the step 2, we're going to set up the SQL shell. That is the language we use to interact with Cassandra. Just we have to write CQLSH. Now we have for deciding your data model. Cassandra data modeling is different from traditional databases. Instead of using normal tables, Cassandra encourages the normalized tables to improve read performance. Key concepts of Cassandra data models are key space, that is similar to a database. A key space defines the scope of data replications across nodes. Now we have tables and columns, partition key, and primary key. That is not very different from other models. Now we have a data model, for example, for an app example to social media with users and post tables. Well, we have to create the key space that I told before and the table for users and the table for post. Okay, building the app with Cassandra. Now we're going to build a simple CRUD that we know the create, read, update, and delete. Step 2, we're going to set up the Node.js project. We're going to create a new directory for the project and initialize it. So use make a dir, cd, and npm init I. Install the Cassandra driver with npm install Cassandra driver. Step 2, to connect with Cassandra, we're going to create a file named database.js for the connection to the app. Here we have the example. For the step 3, we're going to create the CRUDs, right? We have the users, create a user, the code we have here, read user information, that will be the list, and update users, and finally delete the user. Step 4, integrate with a REST API. Using Express for a simple REST API, we can expose these CRUD operations to interact with the Cassandra database. We need to install Express with npm install Express in our cmd command. Create server yes to set the API. We have the code we're going to set up. We're going to scroll down and to run your server with NoSQL, and you can now interact with your Cassandra back up via the REST API. For the conclusions, we have the building an app with Apache Cassandra enables you to take advantage of a high performance, scalable NoSQL database. This distributed architecture is designed for low latency and high availability, making it ideal for large-scale applications by using the Cassandra data model and applying careful schema design. You can build efficient and responsive applications that can grow with your data. That will be all for my part, and now my partner will continue.
Good morning, teacher. Everyone. Today, I want to talk about a significant area of software development, creating application without relying on traditional SQL Server, NoSQL Server database. In my recent article, I dive deep into SQLite, an evident serverless SQL database, and explore which great alternative for applications that don't need the next complexity and overheat of server-based database like MySQL, PostgreSQL, or even certain NoSQL database. As a part of my research, I looked into how SQLite compares to server-based and NoSQL systems. Okay, in the introduction, although SQLite is still a relational database and use SQL syntax, and its serverless embedded architecture make an interesting choice for projects where we typically consider NoSQL solutions like MongoDB or Redis. NoSQL databases are often preferred in scenarios that require high scalability and flexibility on handling of structured data. However, for small scaling application or your case where simplicity is of deployment and minimal configuration are essential. In this part is well offered a completing alternative. It store everything and a single file requires no server management. And style provides the full power of SQL for structured data acquires in the sense it blends some advanced foot of both the sequels. What is SQLite? What is SQLite? In our research, we also found that SQLite is quite adopted in mobile application evidence systems and desktop software, where complex data handling is unnecessary or hands-on investigation walks through the installation process and demonstrates a real-world example of building a simple contact management system using Node.js and SQL. While SQL doesn't replace NoSQL for applications require massive scalability of complex data models, it provides incredibly effective in scenarios where lightweight data handling, portability, and minimal maintenance are priorities. Research SQL adaptations and SQL is one most widely deployed. Mhm. Now, in the comparison, we have feature SQL, MySQL, Postgres server deployment. No? In the feature deployment, the SQLite database embedded in a local file in a server-based database. In the feature configuration, we have SQLite now works out the box, and server requires server installation and configuration. In the performance, he high speeds for small application, optimized for large scale applications. And the feature concurrentions, we have Libnit support for concurrent writing. And server, we have better handling of multiple simultaneous connections. And the feature scalability, we have ideal for small to medium application and the server best for large scale high scoring applications. And in the feature portability, we have a very portable and all in one file. In the server, we have more difficult to port between variants. No? Bien. Examples of use. Example use local task management. No? Let's imagine a desktop application for manage personal task. SQLite is ideal for task scenario sciences synchronizations with external servers not required, and all that storage can be handled local in a file. Uh, this in this part we have part of code const while three equal require equal three verbose. Um, the next example, mobile application. In this part, many mobile applications such as those that stores user data and information offline use a SQLite. For example, on Android, a SQLite is default database for persistent local information, avoiding the need for constant internet connections. Now, installation steps. In this part, we have download SQL, extract the files, set up SQLite. In the part download SQLite, beside the official SQLite website. Next part, extract the files, extract the download zip. Next part, next tip, set up SQLite. Copy the SQLite.exe file into a folder and add the folder to your system path. Now, it is always to you access SQLite from a terminal or command prompt. The next step, verify installation, open a terminal and run the command SQL3 version. If the installation was successful, you should see the installation versions of SQLite. Installation is SQL on Linux, is equal for Linux and Debian. Sudo apt git install SQLite. This part open your terminal and install SQL by running. Step 2, to verify to installation, run SQLite 3 versions. And now installation SQL from on macOS. When we see the examples. Now, example exercise, building a simple application with SQLite. In this exercise, we will create a basic contact management system using Node.js and SQLite. Step 1, set up a Node.js project, create a proper project directory and initialize a Node.js project. And step 2, install a SQLite 3 package. Step 2, create a database and interact with it. Create an app OTS file the following code. Now run the application using the exercise. We have run a node app.js, OTS. The script we created a SQLite database file called contacts OTB ATB, insert a new contact and list all existing contacts. In conclusion, our research highlights that SQLite is ideal for small to medium-sized application. It's offered the simplicity and flexibility developers need without compromising on ability to perform complex requires. If your project needs speed and simplicity without the requirement of the dedicated server infrastructure or complex NoSQL system, SQLite is perfect fit. Recommendations: use SQLite for small and medium scale applications with performance. Consider alternatives like MySQL or Postgres or Cassandra or others. If your application demands is high queries or real-time data processing, leverage SQL for prototype and testing. And step 4, ensure frequent backups of the SQLite database file to avoid data loss, especially in critical applications. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, everyone.